our second speaker for the day. Are you with us, Mrs. Ishola?
Yes, good day, everyone.
Good day, ma. Oh, you're so lively. I love that. Your voice is so lively, vibrated.
Yes, so yes, so
Good
how are you
morning. Good
today?
morning. I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you, ma.
Good day, everyone in the house.
Good day, ma.
How are you all?
We are good, and you?
I'm very good. I'm doing great. So moving on. My name is Ishola Ishola. I am a graduate of English History from University of Ibadan. I graduated in 1990, and I'm an educator in Ogunde Memorial School. Now, that is all about me. I'm married with kids, with children, not kids, young adults. Now, I am here future post-COVID-19. We've all heard from my colleague, Mrs. Igbinedion, on how COVID-19 came around, the pandemic, that is before COVID. When we were in the COVID-19, during the pandemic, all we went through in our lecturing, in how Mr. John tutored us in the use of our technology, and how technology has moved our school forward to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. And as Mr. John rightly said that if you have a team that don't have interest in technology, then it's a lot of hiccups and a lot of hard work. But gradually, we started from old school, that is without using we thought we were able to use laptop, we can use laptop, but it introduced smartphones that without, you don't need to be tech savvy before you are online or before you are a digital champion. And so far so good, we're able to do some activities online, introduced to our parents, our pupils. Initially, it was a lot of hard work. Through their emails, some were ready to, to oblige, some were not ready. They were bent on not using email, they were bent on not using technology. So we graduated from emails to Google Forms, using our Google Classroom. Now, having said all that, so far so good, we're able to at least capture some ground. During the pandemic, Ogunde Memorial School, we did a lot of recording virtual classroom for senior class, a lot of recording for nursery classes, and we launched into YouTube. Any lesson missed by the senior classes, we made sure that we, put it on YouTube for others to learn. Those that were unable to connect, they would learn through their YouTube. Now, moving on from that, at least, we now know, after resuming from COVID, we now know that technology has come to stay, whether we like it or not. And educators that are not ready to imbibe into this, we just go into extinction, obsolete. That means if you still dwell in your past experience of I can't type, I can't do this, I can't do that, that means you can't fit into the classroom. So we now believe that it has become a new norm of teaching and learning in Ebooks. It has added value to the three stakeholders. Who are the three stakeholders? To the educator, who are the pupils. The educators, who are the teachers. It has added values to the learners, who are the pupils, and added values to the parents. Parents are now struggling to make sure that they're on the same page with their pupils, because the pupils, we made sure that the pupils, the learners, have to do what we tell them to do. You have to do your online assignment whether you like it or not. So in doing that, we made sure that parents as well must be on the same page with them. But before we do that, before we resume, we had a meeting, a conference with our parents, telling them advising them and encouraging them the need to make sure that they join the online classes. Technology has come to stay. Those of us that are so rigid, that are hell-bent on not joining, have to join. Just, I can't say by fire, by force, but just ensure that they join and they complied. This made them to go extra mile to buy iPads for their kids. Some went to the extent of buying smartphones for them, to the extent of buying computers for them, to make sure that whatever we choose to do in their classroom is properly done. Further on, we introduced classroom platforms. Each class has their platforms on WhatsApp. So whatever information we want to pass through, we make sure that we just put it on their platform, from pre-play group to grade 5. And your parents must be on your platform. So I don't know how you want to do it now. You just have to join. Your names are there, and whatever you put there, the class code, you just have to ensure that you join us. Then moving on, we don't use hard copies again. No typing of letters in my school again in Hubert. Whatever we want to pass as information is done online. We do this online. We put it on your classroom platform and general platform. So if you don't see it on general platform, that is the PTA platform, you have to go to your classroom platform. If you direct a question to me on the general platform, I will direct it back to your classroom platform. So the children are so elated, they are happy to be part of their platform. They communicate with each other, they rub minds together, they are friendly on their platform. They make sure that their platform is warm and friendly. So we now believe that you don't need to be tech savvy before you are a digital champion. Now, the use of laptops for the pupils without depending solely on their parents is now inculcated in my school. Majority, like 60% of them, don't depend on their parents again, because they see their parents as a distractor to them. Even while they are guiding them in the test, in the weekend diets that we put on weekly, they will tell their parents, no, I can do it all by myself. Just to let us know that technology is a permanent thing in my school, and we are moving along with time. We just have to move. Now, it has made teaching and learning less cumbersome. The use of technology has made teaching and learning less cumbersome to both parties, to both the learners and the educators. Now, whatever we want to send home as weekend diet, we call it weekend diet, that is homework. We don't use hard copies again, no typing or weekend diet again. We just put it to their classroom using the code. You go to the Google Classroom, they log in using their code, they write the notes and attend to their questions. Now, apart from the one they use, the options, they now have they have a weekend notes, that is online notes, whereby they write the notes, they copy there for section B. They write extensively on section B in their online notes. That is a dedicated note for them, which we started using during the lockdown. Now, we have to move forward from what is the future? How do we sustain technology in my school, Hubert? We have to sustain. If there's no sustainability, then we will get stuck. Now, in order not to get stuck, how do we move on from here? Now, we know that the future of technology in education is to improve communication, for example. E-learning has made it possible to reach out to pupils, and in the nearest future, tutors can teach learners virtually. That is what we are looking forward to in Hubert. Teaching virtually, the use of smart boards, Okay, that virtual teaching now has commenced in my pre-play and play group. For example, some parents there are inadequacies, we have to meet them. What are these inadequacies? There's use of sound to teach their children. We use sound in school. Some parents use alphabets. Instead of using A, they use A for apple, which is contrary to our teaching methodology in Montessori. So we now devised a method whereby teachers will record what the children are taking home for weekend. They record using video, we post it to the children's platform to help parents to get along doing their homework, their weekend assignments with the little ones. So parents are now finding it, they are now hot. They are now hot on it that they have to join their classroom. If they're not on their classroom, they rather go to their neighbors or to their friends, their family friends, who is there to enlighten them on what they send home this weekend. To let you know that for now, we have about 80% of our parents being part of this program. And the remaining 20% that are not there, they are still agitating. Maybe their phones are bad, they have hiccups in their whatever they use at home. They are now making sure that they are there. Because if you are not there, you are not part of it. It's better you be part of the train than to cut you off. So in the future, post-COVID-19, what does my school want to do? My school will improve research. How do we make our children to research online? Then we pray that we want to have online libraries, e-libraries, whereby children will have access to lots of information using their online Google. How do you Google for assignments? You let them know that you have to, it's not only the physical or hard copy books. Go to for research, make sure that you log in, Google for learning, Google for more topics, Google for more information using your online. Now, educators are able to post their work online for their pupils to read. That is what I've mentioned earlier on. Now, technology will be used as an enabler in the classroom to change teachers' role shifting. We have to change teachers' role shifting, that is educators' role shifting, the guide on the side as pupils take more responsibility for their own learning using technology to gather relevant information. Pupils must gather pupils so that if you are not ahead of your pupils, you see these children tackling you in the classroom, especially those that have gone online to make research. Now, technology will also help teachers in my school to expand beyond linear text-based learning and to engage pupils who learn text best in other ways. Children don't learn in the same pace. We have to give rooms to the A flyers, to the A list learners. We have to give rooms to the B class and as well the C class. Now, those that are learning fast, what do we do to encourage them? We encourage them to do more research. We encourage them to expand, as well as teachers. We have to expand beyond our linear and text-based learning, not only depending on the text we used previously or the text that has been published in the 10, 15, 20 years. Go online, know the latest information before you disseminate those information to your children in class. Now, technology has evolved from a contained computer class into a versatile learning tool that could change how we demonstrate concepts, assignments, projects, and assess progress. Now, when we give projects to children, do we just sit back and watch them do research on their own? Or do we do our own research, moving on to teach these children what most of them don't have? Don't forget that I mentioned that some are in the A list, the B list, and the C categories. Now, those that don't have access to this online, fingers are not equal. What do we do to help them moving on? what do we do to move them forward? Those are the people that, apart from using our own knowledge, apart from making research, we make research for these ones to be on the same page with those that have access to technology, both in school and at home. So like I said earlier on, that I look forward to the use of smart boards in my school. I look forward to empowering our teachers more, even our pupils, beyond computer classes. Beyond computer classes. Teachers must possess their own laptops, their own iPads, moving on to really know that technology is not a child's matter again, is a big issue which we must tackle in the future. Future, we have to be futuristic, that is sustainability. If we don't sustain what we have at hand now, then before we know it, it will die off, it will face off. And in order for this not to face off, then we need social media in the classroom. Our school is already on YouTube page, Facebook page. You log in to our page to know what we have done. Whatever we do in school now, we record them and place them on YouTube. We record and place them on our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and the rest. Now, the use of iPads and computers, I've mentioned that earlier on. Parents are now aware that they must possess, those that have the capabilities, they possess iPads for their children, smartphones for their children in Hubert, which majority of us don't even know or think that it can happen in the next 5 years. It's happening right now in Ogunde Memorial School. And we shouldn't forget that after the lockdown, there was demonstrations in Nigeria and all over the world concerning EdSARS, in which our states had to lock us down for the second time, which is the 24-hour curfew. No hiccups, no problem in that. We just went straight on to our Google Classroom. Both nursery departments and primary departments did all this before we went for that curfew. So there was no lagging behind in our children. None of them lacked anything. What we intended doing that week, we just posted them to their classroom. And everybody, all parents were eager to join, and they joined. They had their dedicated notebooks where they copy their notes in and the questions. So upon resumption from the second lockdown, we just went straight to the next week activities. That is, we didn't go back to the previous one. We just went straight to the next week activities. Then we moved on. So that is the ability for the parents to be on the same page with us, to make sure that the future of technology in Hubert has come to stay, and they have to adhere strictly to that. Then technology gives us better stimulations and models. It will make us learn globally, not within only the Nigeria atmosphere. We have to know what is happening around the world. This is what technology is going to do for us in Hubert Ogunde Memorial School, which we've already started doing. Then there will be more efficient assessment. Yes, more efficient assessment in future. They now know that they don't only learn typing during their computer classes, they learn typing on their own. They explore the internet, they explore activities, because we have to be activity-based, both online and physically. So what do we do, or what are we doing, or what are we going to do in the future to make sure that we capture all these faces? We look forward to ebooks. Ebooks, that is, you read more online. Just give them the topic to explore. They go online and search for those topics, and mind you, you will find them. Give them the history, give them a personality, write about this personality, and bring your reports. And in doing so, you've already given them access to reports, to writing reports. Give them projects. Don't just give them don't download anything for them in the classroom. Give them the topic to do. Let them explore, let them go on the net. And You will be it will marvel you how these children will arrive at the answers and the research they will make and the reports they will write about what you have given them. So students' database and results tracking is done online now. Like I said before, it has reduced cost for us. And it will still reduce more in the nearest future. So, interactive textbook, like I've said, and case studies. How do you get interactive textbooks? It's online. Everything is digital now. So the better we teachers get it now and face it all our old ways of learning and teaching, and the better for us. We just have to be on the same page globally. Gone are the days when we don't allow our children to have access to our phones. Gone are the days. It's facing off now, and it will face off in the next 2-3 years. Just let me say that. It will face off. In as much as the parents in our environment of the state, if they can purchase smartphones for their children, then what are we saying? It is already here and we have to sustain it. Now, we have to be flexible. Educators must be flexible. There should be flexibility and online learning. Be flexible. If educators are still rigid in their ways of teaching, then you are not a digital champion. You have to be flexible. Welcome new ideas from these children that make research. Don't tell them that it's either you take mine or nothing. We've passed that age now. We are in a smart age. We are in an age where children, you even adults learn from children. I learn from my own children as well. So we have to rub minds together. For example, now in my school, my colleagues and I, we learn together, we rub minds together, we share ideas together. Our digital champions, they are not confined to their own space. We have to rub minds together, we share ideas together. In togetherness, we can get there, and we will get there. So we have to make learning fun again. How do we make learning fun? The use of videos, the use of animations in the nearest future, the use of games as a way of enhancing the process of learning in the future, a way of enhancing the process of learning and teaching. Like I told you earlier, there is cost reduction. Everything is now available online. No more typing. Some parents are still expecting you to send out copies to them, which I debunked. No, ma'am, no, sir. Go to your platform. Go to your platform to access whatever information you have sent home. No more hard copies. You just have to get used to that. Now, like I've said, video games being about behavioral changes in pupils by making them more goal-oriented. Now, children learn from pictures. They learn more from what they see. So if your learning is more video-based, you see these children interacting with you as if you are there physically. They interact, they point at their phones or their parents' phone. Look at Mrs. Something, look at Mrs. Lagbaja, look at Mrs. Adebanjo. Hey, we are as if they're in the classroom. So moving on, we have to impact video games about their behavioral changes in pupils. You see them, adapting to changes. You see them conversing freely as if you are in the classroom. You make them goal-oriented. How do you make them goal-oriented? You have to fashion them in such a way that in the future, you make them entrepreneurs. Make your learning entrepreneurship-based. That is the future for us. That is what technology is putting on the table for us. Not only the classroom learning, make sure that they explore themselves. What passion? What do they have as passion? And your curriculum must be tilted towards that area. What passion do they have? Develop those passions in them. Make sure you have your activity-based learning that will enhance each child to explore themselves. Individual exploration, explore themselves, know the areas, their strengths, know their weaknesses, work on their strengths more than their weaknesses. Okay? Initiate pupils to be problem solvers in the future. Don't let them be based on the classroom alone. If you base them on the classroom, their future will be bleak. We don't want to raise future leaders like the present leaders we have. Raise leaders that will be leaders in their own entrepreneurship. Raise leaders that would create a mental picture of what they want in the future. Let us be lifelong educators. Let us be lifelong learners. Let's create learners that will take more than a decade. Let's create lifelong learners that will give kudos when they think back, when they reflect on where they're coming from, where they are, they will give kudos to your school. That is where we are going in the future. That is the future of post-COVID-19. Now, live stream, schools can create private channels and upload classes, videos on YouTube, which I've mentioned before, differentiate assignments to fit people's personal learning style. In the future, we have, just to sustain what we have learned so far, we have to build on the pedestal of online, of digitalization, by making sure that we differentiate assignments that will fit people's personal learning style. Assignments should not be general, like I always tell my colleagues. You have to know your pupils, identify their weaknesses. If it is possible for you, we get there. Make sure that you differentiate individuals on their learning styles. What can this one learn? Don't say because someone can write fast, the upcoming writers, then you have to carry them along with them, but you have to differentiate as well. Some are very good in this technology, as young as they are. How do we improve them in the future? How do we make sure that these ones are on there, they are there, and that we are not carrying them along with those that are note copiers? Because either we like it or not, the writing of notes is fading off. Writing of notes will fade off. So we should prepare ahead. We should build on what we have learned so far and make sure that we sustain it.
Thank you very much.
We should. Now, in conclusion, I really believe that the future of technology in education is about adapting to the fast-changing world, giving the pupils and students an opportunity to choose their own way of learning, combining theory and practice. Theory and practice. Whatever you teach in the classroom, take them outside. That should be outside learning. That should be outdoor learning. In the nearest future, it's going to be. Using animations in future, it has come to stay. There are lots of applications which we can delve in to make sure we create a sustainable environment for our technology moving on post-COVID-19.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much. That was very comprehensive.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Yeah, that was.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for allowing me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's a privilege I'm not taking for granted.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Do you have does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Ishola? That was well comprehensive, wasn't it? Holistic and detailed. Pretty much covered everything we've spoken about. I like that she brought in sustainability. Now, yes. The United Nations 1970 Blanchard Report defines sustainability as meeting our needs without compromising the need or the ability and capacity of future generations to meet theirs. And I love how you've brought that into context. I love how you've touched the triple bottom line. Once upon a time, we used to do all our